Like, dude, my skin literally felt like sandpaper, and it looked as if you took a roller with foundation on it and rolled over sandpaper. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to take a slight break from nursing and wanted to kind of go back towards beauty and talk a little bit about skincare. I kind of wanted to talk about how I saved my own skin, and hopefully if you're kind of struggling with any type of skin issue, maybe this will help you as well. If you knew me about like 2-3 years ago, I didn't have like acne or any big whiteheads, blackheads, nothing like that. I had something very strange going on with me. I feel like the moment I hit 25, my skin just went super downhill. Like, it's always been dry, but it became like even more dry. I had dry patches like right here, like pretty much everywhere, but it would be so random. I had really rough bumps all over my forehead. However, it was so bad where if I wore makeup, it kind of accentuated everything and my skin just looked even worse. Like, nothing helped and it hurt. It would just be irritated. Like, the dry patches were just so bad, like nothing helped. Now, mind you, I didn't really change anything with my skincare. I was pretty much doing the same stuff. I thought I was using like really good products. So I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? Like, is it because I'm aging? And that probably was it too. However, I did do some research and I came across some things, and I think that's what finally clicked in my head and made me realize, like, okay, I need to step back with my skincare. I need to be a little more simple, the good rule, keep it simple, stupid. And I started focusing more on like clearing out my skin, so then that way the products I was using weren't just sitting on top of the surface of my skin and clogging my pores more or causing it to get extremely irritated. So I wanted to share kind of what I discovered and things that worked for me, and then maybe they'll work for you. Every skin type is a little different, every person's different, but just wanted to share that with you guys. And now, mind you, I've been using this kind of skincare routine for like the last 2-3 years, and I've been slowly incorporating more things. If you were to look at my skincare routine now, it's a little bit more in depth, but I want to tell you kind of about what I did in order to kind of really reset my skin. Okay, so previously I used to use kind of any cleanser I would have. Try to be like realistic with my cleansers, like use something a little bit more natural on my skin, but clearly that wasn't working anymore. I also, for some reason in my head, thought that like physical exfoliants were like the best way to go to really slough everything off. And again, I stepped back from everything. And the number one cleanser that I feel like first really helped was the Purity by Philosophy. Now, this is like the one I'm still using up in my shower before I break out my new one. But the reason I love this one is because it is so gentle. It takes off every inch of makeup. It's so soothing, it's so nice. You kind of put it on like damp skin and you just massage it for like 30 seconds and just to really break everything up. And then I would rinse. I would use like a white towel to see that everything was off. And if there was still something on, that's kind of when I would go in with like a gentle micellar water or something. One I really liked was the one from Garnier. I mean, this one, it's fairly good price and it takes everything off as well, but I like to stay away from these kinds of things. I'd prefer to take my makeup off with something that I'm also washing off. You know what I mean? And I have this weird thing in my head that I feel like if I'm using like a makeup wipe, or if I have makeup on and I'm using like a cotton pad with micellar water, I almost feel like I'm pushing it more into my skin, so I get kind of paranoid about that. So I don't really do that too much, but if something, for some reason, this left something on still, then I went in with this, but not really necessary. So my next step was a liquid exfoliant. So like I said, I stepped away from the physical, mechanical exfoliants and I went to a chemical exfoliant. So this one is from Paula's Choice. It's the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. So basically it's salicylic acid. I felt really scared to use this at first on my super bumpy skin. But guys, when I tell you that this, after about 2-3 days of using this, and I only used it at night because I didn't want to go crazy with it, my skin, like the bumps started disappearing. Like, they were still there, but they wouldn't get irritated by this, but my skin was just smoothing itself out. And I think that this was a huge help to that. And I love Paula's Choice products because they're fairly inexpensive. They're more affordable. than, you know, buying certain things at like Sephora and Ulta or, you know, Macy's. But this is what I would use next. And you would think that since it's salicylic acid, it'll be super drying. It's not. You put it on and it almost leaves like a, not oily, but it's got like a slip to it. So it didn't make my skin feel like it was drying out whatsoever. So for moisturizers, there were two that I stuck to religiously. Since then, I have branched out a little bit more, but these were my ride or dies for like a year and a half until I kind of felt like, okay, like I feel like I have a grasp on my skincare. I'm gonna move on. The eye cream that I would use is the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. Comes in a little jar like this. I believe it's around $30 and it lasts you a long time. It's very creamy and hydrating. And like I said, I was having those dry spots that, you know, weren't completely getting taken care of yet by this. So my skin would almost kind of feel like it was super tight, but like rough. Like it felt like my skin was sandpaper. Like that's like the best way to describe it. So it would really soothe the area over here. So it helped a lot. And then as far as moisturizer, again, keep it simple. I literally just use the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. That's it. That's all I would use. And I went the extra step of buying it in the tube instead of the tub. So that way I wasn't dipping my finger in it. Kind of like how I'm dipping it into the eye cream, but whatever. But this soothed the crap out of my skin. Like this is made for people, like people with eczema can use this and it'll help a lot. You can use this all over your body, all over your face. Never broke out from this. This helped so much. It was also very soothing on my skin. Sometimes if I felt like I really needed an extra dose of moisture in my skin, if my skin like in the winter months felt super dry, I would just use simple jojoba oil. I don't have any on me right now, but I would use some from like Whole Foods. Just make sure you're getting like a legitimate jojoba oil. But I have heard that jojoba oil is the closest oil to our own oil. So it's not, you know, it's going to actually absorb in. It's not going to sit on top of the skin like coconut oil does or something like that. So that's something I would that I would do after my moisturizer, and I would just like pat it in. And that I feel like really helped me wake up with like more glowy skin. And then one treatment that I would do, I wouldn't go crazy with the treatments. One treatment that I would do every now and then, maybe like once a week, that I feel like really, you know, when you hit like a plateau when you're, you know, with like weight loss or something. So I would feel like my skin would be looking good, but it would need just something to kind of jumpstart it again. This helped. This is the Facial Radiance Intensive Peel from First Aid Beauty. It's like a super thick, it's a clay consistency mask, and it's made with AHAs. And I would put this on. You put it on for no longer than 5 minutes. You start slow. I promise you. Trust me, you want to start with like a minute the first time you do it. Set a timer, put it on, 1 minute, wash it off, because you feel the burn afterwards, not when it's on. But this afterwards would like eat away at any gunk that was still like sitting on my face, and then it would allow like my oils or my moisturizer to kind of go through and do its thing like it truly needed to. So that's what it is. So that helped a lot. And this is kind of similar to the Drunk Elephant Sakari Baby Facial, but it's like half the price or even more than half the price. And I really liked it. And it comes with like a little sponge that you apply it with. As I have mentioned, I have branched out more. It took maybe like a month to almost completely get rid of like the bumps on my face and kind of even out my texture. But I didn't really want to introduce other skincare because I wanted my skin to really just relax and breathe. And none of the stuff was really irritating it, so I didn't really want to mess with it more. And like I said, when I was introducing more things in, it was like one thing a month or one thing every 2 months, one thing every 3 months. Like I started just recently using retinol, you know, and all that good stuff. So don't take my skincare routine as like, this is what you have to do. But my tip is that if you are struggling with your skin, please start slow. Just keep it simple. Honestly, that's what helped, because I'm telling you, my skin felt like sandpaper. Like it was just so bad and it was so uncomfortable, and just you felt helpless because you couldn't cover it with makeup because it looked even worse. Hopefully this helps you. And if you ever want like an updated skincare routine, I'd be more than happy to give you guys that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.